Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Aggie, and on my never-ending quest for weird and spooky shit, today I have found another video from the BBC archives, and this one is about dolls of your nightmares, or a specific doll of your nightmares. So I thought, let's have a look, see if I've got any thoughts on it. And this one is from 1963, so let's have a look, see if they do give us nightmares.
This young man, Henry, is unusually talented. A firm, unhesitant line drawn with assurance and great skill.
Ooh.
But he ought to be good, because he's been practicing for about 200 years.
Well, you'd hope you'd be good at it after 200 years. Is it actually drawing that every time? Oh, fuck my life.
Built in the 18th century.
Okay. Nightmare fuel confirmed. Can you imagine walking into a darkened room and seeing that lot? Ooh. Especially the one who's just to the right of him. The woman. Oh my god. Yep. Alright, BBC, you weren't lying. Nightmare fuel confirmed.
Long before electronics or transistors, before batteries, even before electricity.
Oh.
But in the field of pure applied mechanics, they've never been surpassed. Certainly, they have style, not just the mere clockwork precision.
Just about to say, these are like the clockwork ones, aren't they?
We're all used to push buttons, to automation and electric brains, but there's something charming, almost touching about this young chap who's been producing these careful...
I'm sorry, but fuck. Oh my god. Oh, it's that weird uncanny valley thing, isn't it? It's like you're looking at that and you know it's not real, but then it's also real enough to make you unsettled. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that gives me the heebie-jeebies, the willies.
Sketches during 3 lifetimes. And this is how he does it.
Oh, fucking hell as well.
Behind the clothes look at his driving force.
And again, I know I keep saying the same thing, but the fact that you could open his spine and inside is all of this, like this kind of old world, old school cranks and stuff. It's just, could you get any more horror movie like? I mean, have you guys seen that movie Dead Silence with the ventriloquist dolls? I mean, ventriloquist dolls terrify me. They absolutely do, and I do not understand why they all have to have that same hideous look to them. It's like they're designed to be terrifying. And that movie, I love that movie. It's so cheesy. It's not a movie that was designed to be like an epic horror film or anything. It ticks all of the standard horror movie boxes, and it's one of those ones you can put on in the background and just watch as many times. It's one of those, you know, easygoing horror. But it reminds me of that. And to have all of that, oh. Another thing that makes me think of is, oh, you know, FNAF? Five Nights at Freddy's. I was thinking Friday Nights at Freddy's for some random reason. But Five Nights at Freddy's, the computer game, where obviously in the lore of that, the lore has expanded over the years from just a basic simple computer game where you are a security guard in a one of those old kind of, is it like Chuck E. Cheese in America? Chuck E. Cheese, where you have the animatronics that would dance for kids' birthdays and things like that. It's done in that style, but obviously the animatronics are hurting people, etc., and you have to survive it. That's the basics of the game. But they expanded it whereby people could get into these suits, and the animatronics could be suits that humans wore or wear, and they could also just be the animatronics. And it had this thing called I think it's the spring lock system. And one of the parts of the kind of the spookiness of the game is that, you know, they talk about in recordings and things like that, that errors where somebody's been inside the suit and the spring lock mechanism has gone off, what the mechanism that would keep all of the things like this out of the main suit, and it's gone off with somebody inside. And that's the horror element. So when I'm looking at that, this is what's coming to my mind. It's triggering so many memories of other scary shit. And apologies again if you hear a noise in the background. That's one of my cats, again, on a piece of paper. I put paper and things like that around, you know, for cat enrichment, so that they can crinkle and sit on it and stuff like that. They tend to enjoy it. But they always tend to do it when I'm recording. So that's cats for you. Anyway, let's carry on.
Sets of cams that give him that dexterous attention to detail.
Yeah.
There's a second mechanism to bring all 12 cams into play and cause his eyes to follow the deft movements of his drawing hand. And when he stops to appraise what he's done, make him blow away any dust that settled on his pad.
Oh, wow. As much as that is so creepy, though, you've got to admire the work.
Louis XVI facing Marie Antoinette, Cupid in a chariot lashing out at a butterfly, and a finely shaded dog.
Look at that, fair dues. I mean, the effort that's gone into that by the designer, as much as, yes, I'm laughing around the creepy factor of it, but the practicality of it, when you look at not only the design, the kind of mechanisms in the back, and making all of that work so that it can create these pieces. I mean, it's just insane. The amount of time and effort and planning, and obviously failing and then retrying to get this to be where it is. And it brings me great joy, and I know it sounds really cheesy, but it brings me great joy to see that however many hundreds of years later, this thing still exists and it's still able to be appreciated by people. I mean, that's got to be one of the greatest tributes to whoever made this. I'm sure they're going to mention it, because the amount of effort this person's put into it and care to have something survive that long, that it's appreciated by so many generations. I mean, yeah, I'm incredibly overjoyed for the artist who created it to still, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm rambling, you know what I mean.
As the young artist completes this sketch, he stops, considers, and then writes in a decisive hand, "Mon toutou, my doggy."
Oh, mon toutou.
And that diligent young chap has a big sister, Marianne. A musical sister, this one. Sitting patiently at her little harmonium.
She looks terrified, doesn't she? Look at the face. Look at the face.
It, an emotional moment.
It's even got the breath. Look at the chest. They've even mimicked her breathing. I'm still sitting here in that level of creeped out and impressed. Although it does sound like my cat walking across a keyboard, you know. Oh, look at the... No, cameraman, back away. Cameraman, please. That's too close. Fucking hell.
And when she plays, she really plays. None of that mechanical pianola tune grinding here. The fingers of a modern automaton merely follow the keys while the instrument does the playing. But this minuet depends upon these fingers, which must press the correct keys of a clavecin anyone could play with practice. She and her brothers were created by Pierre Jacques Draughtsman, who lived in the mountains near Neuchâtel between 1721
Congratulations,
and 1790.
Pierre.
In that
I'm
century
terrified
of
and impressed.
The clockmaking industry had made its appearance here 50 years earlier, towards the end of the 17th century, and Jacques Draughtsman became perhaps the most skilled watchmaker and mechanic of his age. And if these friendly automatons enchant
Friendly?
and fascinate us
No.
today, well, you can imagine with what wonder they were received 200 years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean, God, it
Then
must
they
have been
travelled
like
in
the peak of
state to the
technology
courts
back
and
then for
palaces of
them.
Europe, to London and Paris and St. Petersburg. Spent many years in Spain, reappeared in Paris in 1812, passed most of the last century in Germany, and came home to Neuchâtel in 1906. The second brother, Charles, is perhaps the most gifted of all. He's a writer and can compose almost any message in a fine, regular 18th century hand.
Oh gosh.
Like many writers, he can be temperamental. He won't tolerate any sudden change in temperature. A few degrees warmer or cooler, and he'll sulk, make spelling mistakes, neglect his spacing, even forget to write at all.
To be honest, I can relate to that, Charles. I think his name was Charles, because for me, I don't deal well with changes in temperature, especially when it gets hotter, because I'm a winter baby, and no. So Charles, I get you with that.
As needed, he dips his quill into an inkwell of ordinary ink,
And
a
so?
wonderfully natural movement, followed by his head and his eyes. That careful hand is guided by mechanisms even more complex than those of his brother and sister.
Look
One
at
directs
that.
the boy's wrist in 3 directions, another controls the upward and downward movement of the meticulous handwriting.
Can you imagine how
that
long it
animates
must
his
have
head and
taken
his
to
eyes.
make this?
Almost all the brass cams for his 44 letters and a full stop are the originals fashioned by Jacques Draughtsman, though one or two, getting a little thin around the edges after 2 centuries of scribble, 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 have been reinforced by steel plates, filed down to match the original profiles.
Look at
Only
that.
clothes and wigs have been replaced, and they remain in keeping with their time. Each month the clothes are cleaned and pressed, and a hairdresser comes to give them all a shampoo and set. As the immaculate
Can you
child
imagine being the
writes on,
hairdresser
he
that gets
carefully
that call and
watches
you'd
his
be like
pen.
walking into that room
Expression
like, you
full
fucking
of
what?
He writes in French normally, but he can manage a well-known phrase in almost any language.
The next tonight is tomorrow night. Oh, you're not wrong. That's just nuts. Do you know, I love stuff like that, just weird stuff. And again, fucking terrifying because I can't be doing with dolls. It just, no. But I can definitely appreciate the craftsmanship that's gone into that. And to imagine that those, or I think they call it, yeah, they're automatons or something like that, isn't it? The different places over those hundreds of years that they've been, the things that they've seen, the parts of history that they've been beside, in an essence, you know what I mean? It's just wild. And like I said before, I think the ultimate payback to this artist's dedication, time, because I mean, God, that must have taken so much time to make, is the fact that, this silly piece of shit on the internet is in 2026 watching his creations create, which is just a crazy thing. So, yeah, definite appreciation to the artist. Another lovely, interesting, weird, and wonderful little video from the BBC archives. And so, I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of time out to see random stuff with me. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you again. Bye.